I can get Game Sonic to at least 5D because Solaris, who is confirmed to be a
Yeah, I'm aware.
five-dimensional.
It's I know. It's because the screenshot statement you have shown. I'm going to go ahead and steal a minute. Don't worry.
Okay.
So you don't have to
So
skill them. So, do you want to start on Sonic or do you want me to start on Optimus Prime?
you can start an Optimus Prime.
Okay, so first things first, Optimus Prime in Transformers Cybertron scales the Vector Prime in his super mode. And mind you, this was at the start of the show, before he got his Savage Claw mode. I'm gonna drop this in general. So here.
Mm-hmm.
This is a scan confirming Vector Prime is 5D. This scan came from the Collectors Club issues, and that these Collectors Club issues are actually statements given by Hasbro themselves, who are the owners of the Transformers series. And mind you, since this was back in 2005, Hasbro had primary ownership. It wasn't a tri-ownership like it is now. So, and mind you, at the start of the series, Optimus Prime in just a super mode alone, or his skills to Vector Prime. And then, of course, you add on his Savage Claw super mode, which is another increase of power on top of that. And then you add Sonic Wing mode on top of that. And then you add on the fact that Optimus Prime also has Raysling, which is Vector Prime's sword. Because Vector Prime gave him Raysling at the end of the series in order to finally finish off Megatron, who, by the way, had the armor of Unicron, which the armor of Unicron basically granted him the same powers that Unicron had. So.
Okay, I can claim that this Optimus Prime is speedless by the same Sonic I'm talking about. Because in his base form, Sonic is comparable to Infinite, who has the power of the Phantom Ruby, who is also goes as fast as he can be in their final battle with the OC and Sonic. So also in that same amount of power, I believe that Sonic is also immeasurable. Immeasurable.
Here, let me give you a tip, right? So, whenever your character is 5D, you're beyond linear time, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're 5D, you're already a causal and you're already a measurable speed, by definition, because you're beyond linear time. And of course, when you're a causal, right, it means you're not bound by the laws of cause and effect, which would include you be bound by, say, linear time. So I already said that steel man you're scaling, which means he'd be 5D and immeasurable, so don't worry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I'll
go ahead and finish scaling Optimus Prime if you want.
Alright, go ahead.
Yeah, so at the start of the series, Optimus Prime is already 5D. He scales Megatron, who scales to Vector Prime in his super mode. This is consistently shown throughout the entire series that Optimus Prime is comparable to Megatron in his super mode, which is Optimus Prime's full power by then.
Mm-hmm.
But then he has other forms, such as, say, his Savage Claw super mode, where Leo Breaker becomes a Savage Claw. And then, of course, there is Sonic Wing mode, Wing Saber, who consistently scales the Megatron, which would mean he'd scale above Savage Claw super mode Optimus Prime. Can combine with Optimus and become Sonic Wing mode Optimus Prime. Now, mind you, whenever they first fused, Optimus Prime not only outsped, but also one-shotted a Primus Spark-infused Starscream.
What is that?
And mind you, this is way into the series, right? Like, this show is about 51 or 52 episodes. There's already about 26 episodes in where they've already done a ton of fights and consistently grown a great deal in power. So. Yeah. And my win condition is that Optimus Prime is going to take Raysling and he's going to cut into Sonic, which can cut his very concept. Because if Raysling couldn't cut concept, and then he wouldn't be able to kill Armor of Unicron Galvatron at the end of the series.
So your claim is that if Sonic gets hit with that sword, it's basically a one-shot GG bye-bye.
I'm arguing that I'm fine with saying that Sonic would be stronger than Base or Super Optimus Prime. I'm fine with that.
Hmm.
However, the moment Optimus Prime either pulls out Raysling or goes into Sonic Wing mode, it's GG. Because Raysling can cut your very concept.
Okay, so I will also have to make claims for Hypersonic because in a supersonic form, his base Sonic has become stronger than Sonic. I've confirmed that before. So I would say
Okay.
Hypersonic is way past the measurable, and I'd say he speed blitz. He speed blitz the same Optimus Prime, and he
Okay.
overpower him
Okay, so
because
I do have scaling for that too. So Optimus Prime and Transformers Cybertron consistently grow stronger and faster, which this is just in his super mode before he even gets Savage Claw, which is already give or take a 10 times increase on top of his super mode. And then Sonic Wing mode, which is arguably 10 times above that. And then
okay,
besides that, that's just the multipliers for his forms. There's the fact he's consistently grown about 10 times stronger in between arcs. And then, of course, there's also the fact he consistently grows at least 50 to 100 times stronger once he got Raysling from Vector Prime.
what is like when you said he consistently grows in battle? Doesn't everyone consistently grow in battle?
In
Doesn't everyone
Transformers
learn in
Cybertron, yeah,
battle?
you consistently grow in power in battle, right? However, the
Yeah.
amount that Optimus Prime grows is much higher than the rest because of his potential as a fighter. Other than the fact he can increase his power by either pulling out Raceling or just going into his super mode, Savage Claw super mode, or Sonic Wing mode.
So this is come a battle of power. Now.
This is a definite battle of power. I'm fine with saying that they'd be relative in speed, right?
Mhm.
It just problem is, right, there's the whole power thing when Optimus Prime is way into 5D. And then of course you also have the fact that Raceling is gonna like kill Sonic because he's gonna cut his concept. His very concept, actually.
To me, it's a matter of fact if Optimus Prime could hit Sonic with that same Raceling, if Sonic would
You'd
go
have to
hyper,
prove he missed. You'd have to prove he missed.
I have to prove it. Okay, now I can still man that Optimus Prime is smart. I know for a fact he's nowhere near like he's not slow. But it's the point is that I know we can say that they are close enough in speed, like relative in speed. But if one is faster than the other, it wouldn't be a speed loop. But I believe Sonic can catch that same Prime off guard a few times, and before he can hit them with that, what's the sword called?
Wrestling.
Bracelet.
Racing is the blade of Vector Prime. However, he gave it to Optimus Prime in order to finally kill Galvatron.
You're cutting out.
Oh, sorry. Raceling is the sorry.
Oh,
So, Raceling is the sword that Vector Prime gave to Optimus to finally kill Galvatron, and that
hmm
Raceling, right, has the power to cut concept itself, right?
hmm
Now, whether how much you steel man or not, I don't really mind, but you're not really giving me much as to show why Hypersonic stopped Optimus Prime. Because I gave multipliers for the increases in power. Not only that, I mentioned Raceling. And then, of course, there's also the fact that I've mentioned that Optimus Prime, right, who has Raceling, can kill Sonic with his sword, right? It'd be a one
hmm
shot. Now, I'm fine with saying this would take a great deal of time for Optimus to do. However, what we also have to consider is that the first shot that Sonic takes from Optimus is GG. I'd also be willing to argue the fact that Optimus Prime has greater amounts of stamina.
I mean, Sonic has ran constantly. Like I'm not gonna say okay, that's not stamina, but like you can tell that in the Sonic he's done multiple levels and multiple times to like in Sonic Generation to be exact. He's done specific levels over and over that he's seen and done before easily without any like constraint or like without any like throughout that whole game you don't see him tired at all. Even through that fight with the Tide Leader,
Well,
when he's done, he's okay. Like you
well,
would think.
mind you, right? A character doesn't have to be visually tired in order to be tired, right? Like, let's say I'm fighting someone, right? I'm in a boxing match. I could hide the
Yeah.
fact that I'm tired just simply by going to a corner or whatever, and that you won't be able to tell them that that'd be tired, right? Whenever we look at characters like, say, Sonic, Optimus Prime, and whatnot, we have to look at the context. Because the context in place is what gives us the skill of the character, not necessarily just a feat by itself, right? Or say, not necessarily, say, the statement itself.
True, but
I've
well,
already agreed that this battle would take a great deal of time. But my
mm-hmm.
argument is that because of the preponderance of information that I gave, I'd be more likely to prove that my character could beat Sonic rather than Sonic being Optimus. Because I've already given specific information, I've already given the Vector Prime skin, and then I've also talked a little bit about Transformer Cybertron. Whereas, say, you were a little vague with saying, oh, multiple levels or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't have skills for hypersonic. I can see you got it, bro.
Oh no, don't worry, don't worry. I'll be willing to steel man hypersonic. And I know the supersonic increase is debatably infinite. Like, I'm not going to debate
Yeah.
against that. That's debatably infinite. So,
Mhm.
what's
I
the increase of hypersonic on top of super?
Okay, on top of super, because the only way for hypersonic to happen is for Sonic to get the super emerald and the master emerald and become hypersonic.
Okay, I'm gonna steel man and say he has all that.
Okay, so in his supersonic form, his power, according to the game, has become infinitely stronger than what he was before. And
Okay.
if we add hypersonic on top of that infinitely increasing power, there should irrespective be no limit to his power. So like Optimus Prime, he should continually grow
Well,
throughout the
okay.
battle.
So first things first, right? Here, let's go with this, right? So infinite. Are you saying he's an infinite layer into 5D, or are you saying he is 6D?
I give him Z, yes. I think once he gets to hyper, he's 5D.
Can you actually drop a scan showing that it is a 6-dimensional feat? Because I'm willing to steel man for 5D, right? But what I'm receiving from you is that he could just be another layer into 5D. To say you can be layers of infinite into a dimensional level, and not necessarily transcend that dimension, right? Let's say you look at Goku, right? Goku's not infinite 4D, but haven't you noticed how he's multiple layers of infinity well in the multiversal?
Explain that. Like,
Well, think of this, right? So first things first, Super Saiyan 3 is actually an infinite increase in power on top of 2, because he managed to affect the Kai realm and the Otherworld realm, which transcend the mortal realm, right? Okay, so that's already Goku and Buu arc, right? If we want to say he's at full power, then he should be able to slap Kid Buu. Now, mind you, uh, Goku at the start of Battle of Gods retains his increase in power. It actually surpasses all of Buu arc in just base. That's before he fights Beerus. But then you add Super Saiyan 3 on top of that. And then he gets stronger. He fights Beerus again, gets God. He retains that increase in power in base. And then after that, you add Super Saiyan 3 on top of that, right? That's just Battle of Gods. Super Saiyan God is infinitely that above that of 3. And Blue is 50 times plus above that of God. And then, of course, you add Ultra Instinct, Mastered Ultra Instinct, etc. So as you can see,
so
he's a high degree of infinite well in the multiversal, right? What I'm saying is that your character could be showing. However, in Transformers, there is infinite increases in power as well. If you'd like me to mention that.
Okay, so I have it's I'm not I'm gonna explain the last part of it. That was like my real pinpoint hitter. It says that in the last few sentences, it says that it claims that a hypersonic is vulnerable to all physical harm. So if any attack that this Optimus throws at him, I believe Sonic would tank it and not be physically affected until. But I do know that there is a time limit to this same hypersonic.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and Steelman and say there's no time limit. I'm also going to go ahead and say Steelman and say he's going to be in that form for the rest of the fight. I'm going to go ahead and Steelman all that.
Okay.
But understand, right? This isn't a physical or spiritual strike. This is a conceptual strike. The hypersonic, okay? An attack on the conceptual level. Like,
That's what
it's
the
literally slicing his very concept to pieces.
but it's of it hitting him that would be physical, which is like I don't think
No,
I
come
don't
on.
think it's like
I can throw an attack at you, and it'd be conceptual no matter how I apply the attack. Because the fact is, if it slices your concept, that's well beyond the spiritual domain.
okay. So let's say that will Optimus Prime immediately pull out the sword like upon seeing Hyper? Would he think
Yeah,
that far?
that's his strongest weapon. Yeah.
Okay. So
So he'll start out in base form in the fight, but he's gonna pull out Raysling. If that doesn't
mhm.
work, he'll power up to super mode and use Raysling. If that doesn't work, he'll go to Savage Claw super mode, and then after that, he'll go to Sonic Wing super mode.
okay, so does he pile the forms on top of each other, or he has to get out of one form to another form?
No, the forms stack on top of each other, right? Like say Savage Claw mode, right? That's much
Mm-hmm.
weaker than if you went to Sonic Wing mode, but that's before adding Raysling. Okay, if we add Raysling, that's 50 times to like 500 times above that of his
Mm-hmm.
power before.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so okay, so you gave me multipliers for the Optimus Prime. You said it's 50. You said 50, 10, and another 10 for the wing
50,
mode.
yeah, debatably 50, right? It's more consistent to say 10 times, right? Because that's the more
Mm-hmm.
consistent measurement. However,
Mm-hmm.
Optimus Prime has shown to grow in great leaps in battle very quickly. Like when he was fighting Scourge on the Jungle Planet, he
Mm-hmm.
was fighting Scourge in Savage Claw mode. But then during the fight, him and Leo Brick are separated, and he managed to hold his own to a degree against Scourge before they went back to Savage Claw super mode.
Got
So besides the fact he consistently grows in power, his potential just stacks on top of that.
Hmm. Yeah, I can't.